This is TJ Morris, and you're listening to ET Radio. This is American Communications Online, and tonight we're presenting The Opened Walk with Bill M. Theresa, myself, and Ken Johnston, aerospace engineer, may drop by and promote NASA and space for us. So we look forward to that, all that entails. But in the meantime, we're going to talk to author Bill M. Theresa. What will lead to the opened walk? Bill's written a book on this, and we're going to be sharing this tonight with the Ascension Center Club and Authors Book Club. Let's get him on here. Hi, Bill.
Hey, TJ. How are you tonight?
How are you tonight? I'm great. How are you?
I'm okay.
Hey,
my
any
friend
day
David,
what? Go ahead.
My friend David is here. He's actually right now leaving, and I'm letting him out the door.
Oh, I want to say hi.
Hey, TJ.
Hi,
how
David.
are you doing? Good to hear from you.
Oh, great. You too. I miss you.
I miss you too.
Are you going to the Mid-South Con this year, David?
I plan to. I hope you can come up for it.
Oh, that's so sweet. I didn't put in for anything. It's a little too late for me now, but maybe next year I'll be ready. But thank you for inviting me. Yeah, they invite me every year to panel or speaker or moderator. That's so sweet. I just didn't get my paper in by November. So
we had a wonderful
anyway, but
time.
I'll look into. You did.
We had a wonderful
didn't
time
we?
with you up here. Yes.
Oh, you're so sweet. Well, I'll look forward to maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I really did enjoy my time in Memphis at the Memphis Hilton. Well, David, come back sometime and join Bill on his show this Saturday night. This is Authors Club, so you can come and tell me what y'all are doing at your meeting.
I would love to.
Thank
you so much, TJ.
You bet. Well, love and light. I will talk to you hopefully after the first of the year. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too.
Thank you.
We'll work out a time for David to be on the show at a future Saturday. Right now, he's got to get back home. He's got chores and such.
Yeah.
Later, David.
Well, you can tell him he can look this up on ACO, American Communications Online, on YouTube, now that you know where to find it. It's up.
Yeah, I'll let him know about
You
that.
had to tell me how to find it. Yeah, you had to tell me about where we were going. There's so much going on through the company now that I don't even know how to keep up with everything and all the back roads. So I was working with Janet today, and she's working on some things, and I'm working on things, and we try to learn and help each other inside the cyberspace community. So, what all do you want to talk about today?
Well, you were talking about the Writers Organization, the Writers Club. David and I were doing some writing this afternoon, and I was looking at the time, and I said, "Oh my goodness, it's almost time. We gotta wrap this up." And we were both bemoaning the fact we were both so in the zone. But sometimes even when you're in the zone, you got to cut it off.
You got to come back and do some reality here. Well, good, because this will go up on YouTube. And now that we know we're going to be doing this, I just didn't have the skills, folks. I had to learn how to do all this. There's a little bit of a learning curve to podcasting, live radio shows, and I've been doing it for 6 years, and I'm still learning. So it's amazing. We're going out on FM radio, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud. Oh, there's so many places now. And you can just know that we're doing the best we can to get the word out for our messages. And Bill and I have been working on the Ascension Center Club, and then there's others out there. And but he really has been with me since the big inception, almost just a few, maybe missed me about 6 months. So we're still working, but it's the ACO Association, and also we have the UFO Association, and then we have this now. I'm in Florida. I've got a business called American Communications Online, and then on Sunday we have the Universal Life, and that's through my Theresa J. Morris Ministries. So it just depends on what you want to look into. But today, how I was impressed with Bill is he would help me with all the world religions and anthropology and metaphysics and spirituality and the Mandela effect and the 3D conscious. So he wound up being just a great host or co-host with me. So you may want to see some things I put there in the description, so it gives people sort of a heads up of what we're going to be talking about. But, what is fake news? I'll put some questions on here we could go through. Are world religions all important, or will they soon fade away as electronic data, which I know you would know? Will the Internet achieve sentience? What is the Mandela effect? Will we live to see more history evolve? Conspiracy theories, because these are all things that you've talked about all these years and years. And now that we're going to be on YouTube, now we'll get the word out better, because I personally would rather sit and listen to it on my TV than get on my computer and rest my neck. So it goes on YouTube, and with my computers and my TVs and my cell phones are all connected now. And I don't know if everybody else has that ability, but I know out in the country we don't get all of that until there's a need or somebody shows you how. So there's still a lot of word of mouth, folks. And are you in a place where you can pick up the Internet? So it's slow coming, but I've got my cell phone and my laptop and, TVs and all that, cable. And how about you, Bill? You got all yours all connected, everything that they're telling us to do these days, laptops and tablets and cell phones, TVs?
I'm pretty connected, yeah.
Pretty connected.
Yeah, and interesting. I'm reading through your list of stuff here for us to discuss tonight. That question of world religions. One of the things I discovered as I was doing my comparative religion study as part of the research for this book, The Open Walk, was that the number of religions in the world is steadily growing. Currently more than 4,000 different religions worldwide. That includes a lot of the small ones, as well as the big major ones, and the various divisions of the sects and the denominations, etc. So we have more than 4,000, and that number is continuing to grow. In fact, I think it was something like more than 4,100, somewhere between 4,100 and 4,200. It may have even gone up over that by now, because it just keeps growing. The number of religions is steadily increasing. So it's not going away, in spite of what some atheists might believe. The actual number of atheists is growing at a slower pace than the number of people who are getting involved in new religion. So, and the number of people who are going into this kind of spiritual movement that we've heard this phrase bouncing around a long time, that idea of, well, I'm spiritual but not religious. And that, it's almost become hackney or kind of a cliche thing for a person to say now. But it certainly is still a growing movement. That the number of people moving in that direction, into being spiritual without being religious, is increasing more than the number of people coming to atheism. So that's an interesting trend itself, I think. So I think religion is something that's going to be around for a long time to come. Increasingly, I think more people will continue what's happening now, moving away from what you would call the big ones, the traditional religions. More people are moving away than ever before, but still they're not moving into atheism as much as they're moving into this spiritual but not religious, and these new religions that are kind of, maybe that even encourage that concept of being spiritual without being religious, as in the kind of ritual stuff. So that is obviously going to continue. Interestingly, the story that David and I do a lot of collaborative writing in the fiction realm, not in the nonfiction, but more in the fiction realm. And we've been working on a science fiction story that's 500 years in the future. And the topic actually came up in the story about religions of the world, the religions of that time period. And one of the characters points out that, of course, in this story, it's set in the future when humanity has formed alliances with a variety of alien species. So we're in tight with a bunch of aliens. It's a culture not unlike what we see depicted in Star Trek or even in Star Wars, where you get multiple races coexisting in a kind of galactic culture. And so one of the characters points out that humanity seems to have expanded the number of religions even more in the time since they started learning of the religions of various alien species. So I think that's exactly what will happen when that time comes. We will be influenced by the religious concepts and spiritual ideas of other beings. We'll share our ideas with them. They'll share their ideas with us, and we'll find the one's ideas are enriched by that. That's what I believe the future holds for that.
Is that going to be in your book? So you're taking characters, you're going to have a protagonist and all the generic ways of telling this to the human race here?
Even in our fiction, I think we can still deal with things that have a reality to it, and we have real issues that we have our characters debating and that kind of stuff, and I think that's a good way to get the ideas across, and it still be a work of fiction. Fiction can tell us as much about life as nonfiction writing can, if we do it right, and I hope that we do it right. We try.
Well, yeah. I like your you're writing the future for us, and it may happen. So be careful what you put in that book, okay?
Right. Because we also base a lot of it. I think I might have mentioned this to you before, back in the old days. But as I've studied what we call the lore about UFOs and extraterrestrials and the various Fortean kind of paranormal, out of the ordinary stuff. As we learn more and more about that, Dave and I have a tendency to kind of blend that stuff into our fiction. So the lore is kind of included as part of the history of our characters. Familiar with the Vril Society from Germany in the 1930s.
Yeah.
The ladies whose long blonde hair they believed were psychic antennae for them, which they could use to tune in. And one of the ladies, Maria Orchik, I believe, something like that, she claimed that she tuned in to beings who live in the star system of Aldebaran. So we actually
Aldebaran.
Aldebaran. Yeah. So we.
Well, you said in that. Now listen. I'm sorry, but we got to do that because so many people call that differently, and I heard it, but I knew what you meant. But sometimes if you hear something that you don't recognize, you just glaze right over. So